Good morning and welcome to Morning World Today with me, David Kennedy. Now, it's an awful lot coming up today, including our press review. We're going to be joined by Sally Jastrzemska, our anchor this morning. But before that, let's take a look at what's been going on in the last 24 hours.
Slovenia is struggling with deadly floods, which have already claimed the lives of 4 people. Both authorities and local communities are working around the clock to save who and what they can. Poland couldn't stand idly by and watch the situation unfold. The Polish Red Cross volunteers left for Slovenia on Sunday morning. Members of the Belarusian opposition met in Warsaw to discuss how to stop illegal migrants from entering the EU from Belarus. Poland and other countries neighboring Belarus have strengthened their border defenses to address the issue. 2 people died and 57 have been rescued off Italy's Lampedusa coast. This incident is part of Europe's ongoing migration crisis. Attempts to cross the sea have increased during the summer as good weather encourages people to risk the journey. The most recent elections in Belarus were anything but free or democratic. This coming week will mark their 3rd anniversary. Ever since the elections of August 2020, the democratic forces of Belarus have been subjected to repressions on a mass scale.
And now it's time for our press review. We're joined by Sally Jastrzemska. Sally, good to see you.
Good morning, David. Delighted to be here. And we're going to start with the Netherlands and sort of take a look at how the Dutch political paralysis, which is, of course, approaching because Mark Rutte decided not to sort of try to stay in power following the next election, and also that the government, right, the coalition in the Netherlands collapsed. And one important policy, right, that the Netherlands had an influence on was, of course, migration, right? So the EU Migration Pact. And so, as you recall, right at the very beginning, there was always this sort of division between the southern European states, such as Italy or Greece, and sort of states from the north, such as Germany or the Netherlands. And recently, Giorgia Meloni and Mark Rutte did sort of find common ground. And so, they managed to sort of move things forward. However, we don't know what's going to happen in the future, right? So that's one aspect. So, it's quite significant how the Netherlands, even it's a fairly small country, how important it is. And this is what the Politico outlines in this article. 9 different ways in which, sort of the problems in the Netherlands can translate into problems for the EU.
Well, exactly. And it is Spain that is in charge of the presidency at the moment. They had quite a wide number of things that they wanted to achieve. And of course, things like the extension of the sort of free access to or freedom of travel in Europe. And of course, that may also be blocked for Bulgaria and Romania.
Right. So the Schengen area, right, sort of the extension of this. Right, exactly. So, and then a number of other issues, such as, cleaner trucks, lowering drug costs, reducing EU's dependency on China, cutting pesticide use in the EU, and advancing the European Green Deal. So all of these sort of policies have an important input from the Netherlands, and sort of we'll have to wait and see how the situation unfolds, right? I mean, it's a sort of, the article just tells us to be cautious, right, as to what will happen. And it's quite an interesting piece, sort of.
It is indeed. Let's go on now to the next piece. What's coming up next?
Saudi Arabia. So, I mean, this weekend, leaders from 40 states met in Saudi Arabia, in Jeddah, to discuss peace in Ukraine. And this article is, I believe, from Friday, so it was sort of written before the whole thing happened, and it was speculating whether China is going to be present in Jeddah. Well, it was, right? So that's an important development. And I sort of, if you sort of look at how the Chinese have been navigating this whole issue, right? On one hand, sort of maintaining the relationship with Russia. On the other hand, trying to, to sort of strengthen their ties with some of the Western countries, placing themselves as more progressive, right? Of course, they still have issues with the US, right? But not necessarily trying to have issues with the rest of the world. And of course, other important countries were the countries from the global south. This is why the summit was organized in Saudi Arabia, to host leaders from places such as Brazil, for instance, right, and other countries of this sort. So, I mean, nothing concrete came out of it. Again, we can see Saudi Arabia trying to enter the sort of the scene of sort of trying to be more prominent when it comes to international relations, right? Because they used to be also sort of put on the sidelines because of the murdering, right, of
Khashoggi, yes.
Jamal Khashoggi, yes, and sort of I think they're trying to reinvent themselves, so to speak. So yeah, and again, what is really important is that, of course, both Saudi Arabia and Russia are members of the OPEC Plus, right? So there are all these issues surrounding oil
production, etc. Yes. Now, the interesting thing in the background is, of course, that Ukraine has put down its own 10 stipulations. The key one, of course, is that it insists on its own integrity of its previous borders, and that's a kind of a non-negotiable term for them. But of course, there's all kinds of other issues regarding stopping of conflict, such as, for example, what happens to prisoners, what happens to children who have been displaced, etc. So there are all these issues.
War Crimes Tribunal, right?
War crimes, exactly.
Yeah, so energy security, all of these aspects, 10 points by the Ukrainians, of course. So all of this is quite significant. However, I mean, there have been many instances where some sort of plans were put together, but they didn't really translate on any change on the ground. So, but it is a sort of noble initiative and a sort of an attempt to try and move things forward.
And the outcome is, of course, that they've agreed to a third round of these talks. The first talks were in Denmark.
Right. So again, we'll have to wait and see, but a positive development all in all, right? So
indeed. Okay, so what's the next story then?
Right. I mean, this is sort of on the fringe of fashion and science. So there's a Japanese startup that is using biotechnology to create greener fashion, and this is actually, I would say, quite lovely, because if we look at the fashion industry and how polluting it is for many it could be quite surprising, right? Starting with the sort of dyes used to sort of color your clothing, to sort of all sorts of artificial fibers like the famous polyester, right? I mean, it is everywhere, right? And it takes a ton of time. I would say over 100 years for it, I think, to much more for it to sort of it's not biodegradable essentially, right? So it's gonna stay in the environment. So these kind of initiatives are fantastic, and so there is this Japanese startup that is working on such things. For instance, using things like structured protein in sort of. They created this famous parka together with the North Face that was called Moon Parka, and apparently it used some sort of protein molecules or whatnot to create that sort of durable and the sort of this item of clothing. I think it
could be interesting. And of course, the goal for the fashion industry is that they've got to reduce emissions by 13% by 2050, so or 2055. Do you think that will happen? Or are you a fast fashion person yourself, Sally?
I'm trying not to be. Also article says that according to research by Queensland University, that fashion industry is on a cusp of biotechnological revolution. So, I mean, let's stay hopeful. I mean, I can try and stop buying new things until things get, sort of more eco-friendly.
I haven't noticed you around our office wearing many old things, Sally.
Well, I mean, I try to recycle them within my own, sort of wardrobe. But in any case, a lovely initiative worth taking a look at the Japan Times and sort of, I mean, I'm looking forward to actually, for these kind of items to enter the mainstream.
Wearing sort of
I'm gonna
pineapple fiber and things like that.
I'm gonna try and acquire the whatever they're saying is on sale right now. So yeah.
Very good. Okay, so now we move to Taiwan.
Yes. And so another important political shift in Taiwan, and they're talking, of course, about the presidential election on the island. However, we know that this will have wider repercussions, such as because of Taiwan being this issues surrounding Taiwan being a bone of contention between the sort of between China and the U.S. And recently, with U.S. donating this massive military aid package to Taiwan, I think things have even took, I would say, right? I mean, would you agree with me that it sort of made things even more difficult to?
Well, perhaps. Of course, anything which happens just before elections is quite significant, isn't it? And here they're saying the presidential candidate, vice president of the Democratic Progressive Party leader, is William Lai. He's saying that it's not a choice between China and the US, but it's a choice between democracy and totalitarianism.
Right. Yes, I mean, so definitely important, sort of decisions to be made in Taiwan, and sort of decisions that will have wider repercussions for sure. And let's hope that they will choose democracy, right?
Choose democracy. 60% actually want the present party out, according to the opposition. So a lot's happening there. Sally, that was a very interesting lot of material that you chose there. Thank you. Okay, well, let's look now at what is happening over the next 24 hours.
Niger is waiting for a response from the ECOWAS West African Regional Bloc after coup leaders in Niamey ignored a deadline to reinstate the ousted president, a move the bloc has warned could lead it to authorize a military intervention. Leaders of the Organization of the Treaty of Amazon Cooperation, which in addition to Brazil also includes Bolivia, Ecuador, Guyana, Colombia, Peru, Suriname and Venezuela, are arriving in Belém, northern Brazil, for a 2-day summit on the protection of the Amazon rainforest, which begins there on Tuesday. Philippine Foreign Ministry and Coast Guard officials hold a joint news conference on the recent water cannon incident involving the Chinese Coast Guard.
Wait, I was actually... I almost used it now. I almost said the word now. But I was writing on Twitter. I wanted to say TikTok, and then I wanted to say Twitch, and then I wanted to say X. Okay? But I was writing on Twitter these days, and I noticed that I write the word unironically quite often. Like, whenever I want to say a joke or something, it's in the sentence formation somewhere. And I was like, did I use it in like last few replies? And I scroll through my replies and it's used in like every single one. And then I was like, am I using it on stream? Am I saying this on stream? And I concluded I'm not. And I don't know what to base that on. I was just like, nah, I'm doing good. Hey, Courage, thank you for the sub, thank you. Twitex, yay! I was trying to remember the name, and like X came to mind faster than Twitter, which doesn't really make me too happy. Yeah. Serbs? Oh yeah, Serbs won't do shit. Serbs won't do shit. They're gonna get, fuck bombed out of them again. So their suspicious movement is kind of like, you know how Belarus does the thing where it like starts to whip movements around, but it doesn't really have the balls to do shit. You know how North Korea every once in a while starts to like mention the fact that they get nukes and they could be using them. It's kind of like that how we see Serbs. It's like, oh, they're doing some shit again. Very Serb-like, very Serbian. Maybe we should remind them what happened last time they tried to start some shit. I'm not really scared. They want to start another war. Here's the thing, okay? If Serbs had not even then, I don't think the entirety of the country would be okay with that. If Serb nationalists had the strong enough military, they'd go and butcher absolutely most of the former Yugoslav countries. Okay, Serb nationalists are fucking wild. The redentism is off the track. It's like Hungarian nationalism. I don't know how many Hungarians you've spoken to. I hope for the sanity of your soul it's the least possible number. But it's like that. If they could do what Russia does, they would, basically. If they could have the rest of the world so reliant on their exports and so reliant on their resources that they are allowed to go and butcher neighboring states, and the rest of the world will allow it because they rely on Serbian resources, I believe as a country they would be doing it. The fact is, though, Serbia as a country is not relevant enough in the world to be allowed to do this sort of a thing. So they're just kind of GG. They're just kind of existing. They're harmless. They're harmless, basically. The biggest, I want to say, threat of genuine conflict right now in the Balkans would be in Bosnia. And I don't believe Serbia as a state would be playing a part. I believe it would be supporting Serbian representatives in Bosnia. But yeah, that's kind of, if we talk about possible war in Balkans, I think that's the one I don't want to say we have to fear, but if it happens, it's gonna happen there. It's very unlikely for it to happen, in the rest of our states. Like, what could they do? They could go and attack Kosovo. They don't want to attack Kosovo. Kosovo is recently getting lots of attention from foreign powers, so you don't really want to start a war there, you're going to get fucked. They don't want to attack Bosnia because that also is breaking over state lines, and you don't want to do that. The only chance is to support some sort of Serb nationalist movement inside Bosnia, which seems also the most likely. It's going to cause them the least amount of losses. Who's not going to bomb then, Bosnia? Yeah, that's gonna look bad. Hey, also, I tried to look into the video we mentioned last stream. It was Socialism is Just Better Scientifically. So I went to try to find the video, and the video doesn't exist. The video is privated. There's this one, which I do have open somewhere, which says that it's the same video, just like downloaded and saved. So we could go through this one. I know Cringelord wanted to make fun of socialists. And also I found 2 videos debunking it. So that seems fun. But yeah, this one specifically, it doesn't exist on a Hakim account. I don't know why. He apparently privated a bunch of his videos. It was like 2 weeks ago, something. Some relatively recent time before. I'm not sure why, because when you look at the rest of his videos, they're very interesting ideologically. So, like, why private some of them and then leave other ones around? But the ones you left are not any better than the ones you removed? Yeah, it's like purge your entire account, my dude. just delete your presence of social media. And also I found 1420, we have to watch this, XQZ asking people how they feel about the fact Navalny got sentenced to 19 years. By the way, I don't know if you've seen this, Navalny got sentenced to 19 years. 19 years. And you know what his brave, incredibly brave opposition team did when learning that the man they have rallied around is now sentenced to 19 fucking years in prison. Okay? You know what his incredibly brave, incredibly useful team did with thousands of cash money of donations that they got from people who genuinely believed these people are, you know, proper opposition in Russia. They shown a hashtag on a building in New York. Actual New York, like USA. That's it. That's the entirety of the thing that I did. So I'm trying to find the image of that fucking building. It pisses me off so much. But that's like the whole that was the whole reaction. I have later seen people posting about some of their comments online. One of them made a comment that oh, Navalny got sentenced to 19 years, but it's very unlikely that Russian regime is going to last for such a long time, so we need to just wait for Russian regime to crumble. With like thousands in their donations. I mean, it's cute, kind of cute how fucking useless they are. Some of the ones he left are just as bad. Yeah, why do a purge and then leave shit videos? I mean, why do a purge in the first place if your entirety presence online relies on you making shit videos? What's the point of doing a purge? Oh yeah, by the way, 15 years ago Russia invaded Georgia, so this model was not effective in any country. I don't even know where it's like coming from. On the a lot of them are like, oh yeah, well these countries can have, but I need to show you so many stuff. A lot of them come from the position of like, oh, just because the model didn't work in any country, and mostly didn't work because we exist in a capitalist world. Oh, here's the hashtag. So because we exist in a world like this, it's impossible for a society like that to function properly, right? But then surely logically it would follow that, hey, if thousands of people had to die and the system still failed, because any such system will inherently fail because of the nature of the world we live in, what in the world makes you think such a system would be good right now here? Like, I don't know, just the cost to even try to keep all of these standing. Like whenever people talk about Yugoslavia, that pisses me off. And I know we meme Tito here, but like it's different, you know, when people hear meme Tito, and it's different when outsiders meme Tito, if that makes sense. Like it's different if I speak to a Croat and they're like, oh yeah, I love Tito, ha ha ha. And then I'm like, yeah, dude was sending all political opposition to Goli Otok. We would see Sinčić be there now. Jokes. That's very different from like someone from USA being like, oh yeah, Tito was based. He tried so hard to keep communism going. Like, you know, I don't know, just this amount of victims should immediately be letting you know that trying to attempt such a system again would not be worth it. Serbia is split on Ukraine. On one hand, Serbia cannot recognize regions occupied regions as Russian, which is something that Russia wants them to do. Serbia cannot do that, because if Serbia recognizes any of these occupied regions as Russian, Serbia will have to, in a way, admit Kosovo may not be Serbian land, which is not something that they want to do. So for Serbia, this has been a huge thing in their conversations. Some Serbians have claimed this shows their support for Ukraine. This does not show their support for Ukraine. This just shows their willingness to go against Russians in order to still keep Kosovo as heart of Serbia. I'm not sure they are smart enough not to trust Putin. It's some of Serbians hate Russia a lot. Some of them see it as a country which betrayed Serbia and as a country which did nothing to help Serbia reach a better place in the world, which is proper. Yet some of them do have this idea of Serbs and Russians being brotherly nations, which isn't. So I guess it's hard really to gauge people's opinions there, because NATO bombing in 1999 has formed a lot of their attitudes against the West. So it's a bit hard for them to go like, oh yeah, you know what, actually the West's kind of okay-ish, because like, oh, immediately some other Serb's gonna be like, oh, well, the West bombed my family in 1999, and you'll have to be like, Navalny is the sandwich in the fridge. Actually, Navalny is like a sandwich, and you know, you can't get him back now. He has been given over to the prison. You can't get him back now. It's not really something that should be debated at all in this situation. We want to get him out of jail, let him be there the whole term. Look, considering the amount of action his team is doing, Russia could keep him there for 200 years, okay? And his team in 200 years would not be able to do anything. They're so fucking useless. It's aggravating. Belarusian border guards cut a fence at the border to help illegal migrants enter Latvian territory. Oh. Hey, did you guys see that? How was it? Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia. They have created basically they have a deal that if one of them blocks access to Belarusians, all of them are going to be blocking Belarusian border. So I'm kind of weirded out all neighboring countries haven't already done that. That was my first thought after reading that. Like, oh, these countries think about blocking their border with Belarus. Why wouldn't you do that in 2022, when they allowed their land to be used to stage attacks on Ukraine? I don't know, the fact that the border is still now open is just weird, but at least they're planning to maybe close it in the future if there's a need. So I'm guessing that's good. Why is this? Hey, Taurus! I've seen some people say that, oh, Bundestag approved it. It did? I haven't seen this. Okay, this is official. I haven't seen this. I have seen Scholz people saying that they want to send it. And I have seen some other people then allege that a big part of the Scholz party doesn't like the idea of sending Taurus to Ukraine. So it's not so certain that it will happen. But if it's confirmed, this is great news. Everything is great news. Give Ukraine as much shit as you can. Ooh, 500 kilometers. Whoa, nice. Community with food security. There's a huge rice and grain shortage coming up due to war and climate change. Oh, wait, rice shortage too? I didn't know about that one. I knew about grain issues. It is... We were quite stupid on this, but it is something that Russia has been threatening for almost a year at this point. They've been threatening that they're going to. Hey Kim, thank you for the sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, free the Taurus, free the Taurus. Do you know more about this? Has it been officially confirmed? But Germans officially like, yeah, we are sending Taurus. Fuck, where was I? Yeah, I've from last year. I remember Simonian had that speech, which recently went viral, but it should have gone viral before. The one in which she was like, "Oh yeah, but I speak to Russians sometimes, and you know how Russians say, all our hope is in the famine, because we have to cause the famine." And then when we cause famine, the rest of the world will have to look at us and they'll have to be like, oh yeah, we actually have to cooperate with Russia because we need them to feed our people, and if we don't cooperate with them, our people will starve. So all our hope is in that, because if we want to make people want to be our friends, you know, we must ensure they know that the alternative is just starving forever. So the fact we allowed the grain deal to be threatened so easily, even after we knew why Russians want to break it, yeah. Fair scenario of Russian foreign ministry. I assume fair scenario is them wiping out their troops themselves. That would be very, very fair. Nah, not even that. You wipe them out and then you send people from Russia to, you know, nicely and tightly bury them down, and also bring cash money for reparations. Which the fuck does she mean by this? Fair scenario. What is the fucking fair scenario? Massive Stockholm syndrome. Even in Serbia, it's a massive Stockholm syndrome because the Serbs have been horribly treated by Russians. What is that? What is that? Whoa. Blitzortung. Bro, why so many here? Polska. Lightning map? Holy shit. Why so many here? No, here. Holy shit. Wait, can I? Can you? No. This one means it's happening now. Do the shh. Do the shh. No, he's not doing the shh. I rip. Rip. Which it stands on Ukraine war, and there's public opinion on Ukraine war. Oh. Yeah, which is interesting. Which is interesting. I do think he's supported by like a large part of Serbs, to be completely fair. But he does tend to be a bit more delusional. Not just delusional. I feel like he's vile on a whole different level. You know, like after the invasion started, for example, if you remember, there were huge news about Chechens joining the war on the side of Russia. Soon after that, Vucic met with a Chechen representative. That was like... And it hasn't gotten any news in Serbia, like almost none at all. That was weird. I've seen more people post about it on Twitter than I've seen in like actual, you know, news groups existing for Serbs. There was almost nothing. Just Indian channel on Rise, they're calling it an apocalypse. Oh, to be fair, it could be horrible. It could be horrible. It does mess up the stability of the entire system. Like, even if now it doesn't seem too dramatic, it could become really, really soon. Shit. Bro, what the fuck? Plus 27? Dude. I'm kind of happy we're doing well here. Golf balls? Breaking cars, window panes, and greenhouses? Dude. What? What the hell? I have never seen this IRL. I've never seen this. We never had like a proper hail here in the village, which is a good thing, I guess. I kinda I'm just interested. There's a part of me which is like, damn, I wonder what it feels like to look outside and just see literal death raining from above, you know? But yeah, I'm blessed to be here. Controlled by the ruling party. Ruling party is 100% in control of Vucic, and Vucic is 60% controlled by the West. I think. Huh. Why wouldn't he be more pro-Ukraine then? Because his opinions... Didn't he recently say that he doesn't consider Republika Srpska to be under sanctions? He claimed that for him, the sanctions don't count. I wish he was 60% under control of the West, because he would probably have a bit more base takes on this. Though Serbia did vote against Russia on UN votings, so that was something. But they also did allow the easier procedure to get citizenship in Serbia. That's kind of weird. They allowed, it's a very easy procedure compared to the one they have right now, and it's supposed to allow people to get citizenship in Serbia a lot easier. And most complaints about it I've seen were people noticing that, hey, there's a lot of Russians right now in Serbia. If they stay for longer, they could be claiming citizenship. We could just have a bunch of Russians in Serbia who are becoming Serbian citizens. Do we want this? Are we truly that interested in what direction the democracy is gonna take us if we allow this? So I don't know, Serbia overall seems very, very interesting on that ideological basis, on the whole like hatred of NATO, hatred of USA thing, but also pretending that they are really, really into traditional values, but also not being really, really into traditional values. And it seems that it's getting them a nice situation in politics. Heavy rain and thunder, lightning, but no hail. I kind of want to see hail. Oh shit, extreme storm? I'm living next to epicenter, so I finally have a legit excuse to skip gym. Ha, lamau. Me when the lightest of rain happens. Me when there's wind outside. Yeah. I remember having to go to the gym for a while, because I was playing like gym membership. So, you know, it was like, okay, I'm paying, I have to go now. And one day, me and friends were like, do we go to the gym? And we were like, nah, it's really, really sunny outside. So we just didn't. Serb soccer club still recruiting young people for left-right stuff. Left, right, left? I would be very surprised about any leftists being born out of soccer clubs. that would be my first. But for right-wing, yeah, they still are very right-wing. So are Croatian soccer clubs. So it's yeah. Serb soccer is 100% controlled by mafia. If you want to meet the most deluded types of people existing, you need to learn about people in soccer clubs in Balkans. They are incredibly right wing and incredibly, I just want to say purely fascist. It's basically the equivalent of just far right groups in a country. It's just that, you know, we call them soccer fans because we're lying to ourselves. It's very rare that you will see a genuine soccer fan who is not a neo-Nazi. Very fucking rare. I don't know if I've ever met a normal person who was really into soccer, especially if they were into like soccer football clubs, fan clubs, stuff like that. Every single time they were fucking weird. We just had problems with them recently because we had Croatian Victory Day, and while the rest of the country was like, hey yo, we now remember the day when we finally won the homeland war, and the war in Croatia has finally ended, and because of this our people were able to get peace and we were able to get our own country. While they were doing that, soccer club fans were going, yay, Ustaše forever. We need to go and open more concentration camps. So oh, we did have ICs. It's just that the gym was very far away. It's like 45 minutes or something, and the car itself had shit AC. So that was a big problem. 5% politics and 95% power and control of the population. Oh yeah, I could see that. I think it's like that in most. It's how populism works, right? When your country gets, I don't want to say taken over by populists, because it's removing responsibility from the nation. But the entire reason why populists get so many votes is that they're very good at controlling the feelings of the population, and they're very good at getting population to vote for them just by being very invested on whatever the current thing is. And yeah, Serbian leadership does seem really good at this. Hungarian does too. I do think this is in big part a democratic thing anyways. And I believe a way to change it is to educate the population on what populism is. And especially to encourage people to look more into policies and, proposed plans of people that they have voted for. But I do think this is something that people very often want. And in Serbia, I also think this is something that people want. I believe populism, finds a way to get a foothold, and it's really hard to get rid of it anytime soon. Yeah, I saved something from Visegrad that I wanted to show you yesterday, and I don't know what. I saw Visegrad now in the link. What is it? Head of the Polish border guards files a request for the Polish army to send another 1,000 soldiers to guard the border with Belarus against potential intrusions by migrants or Wagner Group fighters. Shit. 1,000 of them. That's more people than Wagner has. Croatia might be better scientifically. Is it allowed? Shit, I should have done that. I should steal your title. Bro, I keep on getting that. Is this allowed, girl, every single day? And she is allowed. Still. Like, I keep on being like, one day I'm gonna log in and she's not gonna be there. And then when she's not gonna be there, I will finally learn what has been not allowed enough. But now everything is being allowed. People over 60 have problem with using the internet. Oh yeah, same here. I think Serbia is kind of fucked by not being in the European Union. I genuinely think it's one of those cases where not being in good company just makes you stray away further from it. Because you don't have the same funding possibilities that we have. You don't have the same project possibilities as we have. It's very hard for Serbia to try and to pull foreign money into the country to try and do something like, educating people on what politics is. It's very hard for country to do that when you have no allies to be funding you. I really think Serbia got fucked in the ass, and not because of the faults of other players, but because of the faults of Serbia's own leadership, absolutely. But it still kind of sucks because I don't know what's the possibility of fixing it anytime soon. You know, it feels like even if European Union eases the way to enter, which by the way I have a video saved also on new countries entering European Union. But it feels that even if there would be a possibility to enter European Union, there would still be society-wide conversations on whether Serbia needs this or not. I don't know. It's a delusional thing to even ask, in my opinion. I really think we were blessed. We were talking about it a lot the last Victory Day, about how blessed we were to do the special military operation and to kick Serbia out of Croatia and thus get recognition and thus get closer to getting inside European Union and NATO, which we did both. We were blessed by it so much, because if we didn't do that and if we allowed a situation similar to Bosnia, we would still be outside of European Union. We would still be out, and it would absolutely not be good. We would not have so many things that right now we take for granted, so many improvements we would not have, so much funding we would not be able to get. We were blessed by choosing by our fathers and grandfathers choosing a proper path. Wait, what did I click on? Okay, this I did. This one. Juric Zlatko. This account owner limits who can view their tweets. Who blocked me? Who has me blocked? Oh, Juric. Oh yeah, one of ours. Shit, I remember not being able to open his links. Little bitch boy. What?
Geology and Meteorological Center, LVG with Circumflex MC, issued an orange warning for severe thunderstorms nationwide.
That's an orange warning? Holy shit, what's your red warning?
Could exceed 20 meters per second in many places. LVG with Circumflex MC reported that around 12:30, a red warning for thunderstorms and high winds was issued for land in the central part of the country. Tom's Business has reported on social networks that what is happening on Double's side of the state.
Don't you have a chance? Hey, it's quite easy for someone from Serbia to get into Croatia. There's a lot of Serbians who work locally. Get a nice paycheck.
Damaging buildings and threatening human life. Extensive damage was also reported in Tilfeed. The NRA previously announced that an orange alert was issued today. Tornadoes can
Oh no! Coward cat. Cowardly little being.
LVG with Circumflex MC issued an orange warning for severe thunderstorms nationwide, indicating that gusts of wind speed could exceed 20 meters per second in many places.
Have to pay to go paintballing to get ones like this.
MC reported that around
That's why you go paintballing? You're like,
for thunderstorms
scars.
land in the central part of the country. Tom's Brisis has reported on social networks that what is happening on Double's side is distasteful. Just before 12 p.m. on Monday, gusts of wind in the storm
What the fuck?
33 meters per second, according to LVG with Circumflex MC data. Such wind speeds correspond to strong storms that cause great damage, breaking and uprooting trees, damaging buildings and threatening human
You got your ass beaten.
Extensive damage was also reported in Tilfeed.
They're both like 1 meter away from me.
An orange alert was issued today.
That was brave of you though, that was brave of you.
Geology and Meteorological
Let me go into this fucking hut and just shout.
issued an orange warning for severe thunderstorms nationwide, indicating that gusts of wind speed could exceed 20 meters per second in many places. However, LVG with Circumflex MC reported that around 12:30, a red warning for thunderstorms and high winds
Kinda wanna play that shit.
land in the central part of the country.
I want to see how good it'd be.
Reported on social networks that what is happening on Double's side is distasteful. Just before 12 p.m. on Monday, gusts of wind in the storm.
They already said it. My Opera browser just glitched out. Okay. It's back. Sneaking in and shooting. Yeah, why didn't you do that? Why why wouldn't you do that? Is there a reason not to do that? Why not to do the cowards thing and just sneak in and shoot them in the ass? That's what I would want to do. I'm just, you know, saying that's what I would try. It's a crime to do it. I think it's a crime to shout and then get shot. I think it's a crime to lose like that. should be illegal. They should be able to report you to authorities for getting smoked. Are you one still? Wait. I may be not knowing what paintballing is. I may be unaware of what it means because I assumed being in that sort of a situation inherently means you lost because they shot the fuck out of you. But I was a foul. Ah. Okay, fair. They still shot ya. I wanna play that fucking game. I have a friend who plays it's not paintball, it's the other one. What's the other one? There's the one game which is like relatively similar, but you play with those realistic looking guns. He plays that and it always seems really cool. I always kind of wanted to try it, but also I feel hey, airsoft, yeah. I'm like shit in physical activities. And I feel I would suck. I would be so bad at it. I would shit myself. I don't know if I would be able to play it well. And I'm really competitive, so I would genuinely get, you know, my ego hurt if I don't win. But I really want to try it and I really want to win it. I want to beat some asses. I should do a thing, you know, that scene How I Met Your Mother, when Barney and Robin are playing against a bunch of children. I should do that. I should like figure out a way to go to some cousin's birthday celebration or whatever, make them play those games there, win over all of those children, assert my dominance, and then just never play that shit again. Not as much fun shooting plebs, because not as much pain. Wait, airsoft hurts less? I thought it hurts more. But I was basing that opinion only and solely on the fact that airsoft looks more real than paintball does. So I assumed it hurts more because I assumed guns are more like guns, whereas in paint one they're like paint, so they're less like normal. I just figured that was like the dumbest fucking connection of logic you could build in someone's head. It always seemed logical. Man, I need to get into some sports. Is that a sport? Is that technically a sport? Could I be like, oh yeah, I like doing sports, and then my sport is like shooting other people? Slaps hurt more than punches. Why do you slap people? It is technically a sport. When people are like, "What sport do you train?" I'm gonna be like, shooting people. Hardball, what is that? Slapping is a sport? Are there competitions? Is it like those hand wrestling competition? Is it like slapping? You just sit at a table and you slap each other? International ones? Oh, what a dream! What a dream! Can you imagine that? You go to an international slapping competition. You get a Frenchie right in front of you. Dude, come on. Oh, I would apply in a second. Those people are gonna live with severe concussions? Yeah, true. but also sounds fun as fuck to watch, you know? USA, Russia, Poland have competitions. Can you imagine competing against a Russian in slapping? Ah, man. Airsoft with real pneumatic guns, holy shit. How much does that hurt? How painful is that shit? But it feels more real, I guess. It's like it's airsoft, but for like extra nerds, right? Airsoft is already paintball, but for nerds. That's what it feels like. It's like you go paintball because it's funny, and also it's the one that seems to be most accessible in a way, the most basic one, right? And then you switch to airsoft, which is a dork version. Like, you probably play CSGO or something if you play that one, right? And then hardball is like extra of that. That's like, not only are you a dork, you probably knew from a very young age how to assemble a rifle, and just because you wanted to know how to use weapons. I had a friend like that in elementary school. He was treated as like a miracle child by our teachers, because he knew all the moves on how to assemble a rifle, and he was able to like act it out, and he would do all of it correctly, but he was like a little kid. They were always like, why is he doing? And he just knew. He just fucking knew how to do it. To be fair, you know, it was one of those situations where like there's a kid, and the kid is probably really traumatized by the fact we had a war just a few years ago, and he was born in the middle of it, and he's drawing a lot of military shit and army shit, and this is probably like this trauma coming up to service. And I wish the teachers were a bit more concerned about it, because what they did instead was they were like, wow, look at him, he knows how to assemble a rifle, holy shit, how did he learn how to do that? Wow. And no one actually did anything about it. In slapping competition, there's always a skinny versus thick matchup. Is that fair? There are only Russian and Ukrainian wiki pages for hardball. Okay, fair. Okay, that's fair, that's fair. I need to introduce it to Croatia. I could make a business with that. Dude, I could probably make a business with that. I could be like, hey, European Union, can you give me cash money? Because I'm planning to introduce a new sport into European Union. You don't have it yet. You don't have it yet. And then I'm just going to introduce hardball. I'm gonna be known as the starter of hardball in Balkans. Frozen paintballs do real damage? Some people mod their paintball guns to shoot metal balls? Dude. That sounds like a loser thing to do. Hey, Plain Talk John, hey yo! Hello, 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 how are you doing? Ayo, ayo, ayo. It was invented in Russia? No, it wasn't. Not if I bring it to Balkans. I'm gonna say this is a purely Ukrainian game. I'm gonna say Russians never played it. I'm gonna say when they say that they have played it, they lie. What you gonna do then? I'm gonna do a thing. I saved one post on Twitter recently. Wait, on X. I'm sorry, on X. I saved a post on X. Did I save it? I did. It's this one. So Russian official Twitter has posted that outstanding Russian painter Repin was born on this day in 1844. But like he was born in Ukraine, he was Ukrainian, he studied in France, he went in Russia for a few years, then he ran away from Russia and he went into Finland, and he refused to go back home to Russia. And he wanted to be buried in Ukraine. And then you call him Russian? Cute. But basically, I'm gonna intentionally do this for hardball, which may or may not be actually a Russian game. I'm gonna be like, hey, bro, you know, doesn't matter where it originated from, who first played it, who the fuck cares. It was played in Ukraine. It's Ukrainian. It has a wiki page in Ukrainian. It's fucking Ukrainian. And I'm introducing it to Balkans. The path is straight Ukraine to Balkans. That's it. No other country involved. Making some kombucha. Hey, good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck. How was the stream, guys? By the way, what did you talk about? Did you learn how to get a lot of cash money? I always feel poor when I come there. I come around with like 30 euros in my bank account. And then you people talk about like, oh, how easy it would be to save up, you know, a couple of thousands in a while. And I'm just like, oh, it would be quite easy to save until your 60s. It would be quite easy to save. I don't even know how many thousands of dollars because it's so much that I have forgotten. Google says he died in Russia, but it wasn't Russia when he died. What was it? Wait, where did he? I know they say he moved to Finland, and then where was he? Repin. Haven't checked, to be completely honest. Kazakhstan fucking based. Oh, Finland broke away from Russia. Aha, he welcomed the February Revolution 1917, but was appalled by the violence and terror unleashed by the Bolsheviks following October Revolution. Then he was in Finland, and he was unable to travel to Russia back. Ah, makes sense. Kharkov Governorate of Russian Empire. Ulan Regiment. Ooh. Nice. Part of Finland, Soviets managed to occupy and hold. Bitches. Little bitches. Painting in the open air? He learned the techniques of painting in the open air? Oh. What do you mean the techniques? You just go out and paint. What else is there? Oh, okay. Tonal qualities, color, loose brushwork, and softness of form. Okay. You can't really be hyper realistic if you're painting in open air, I guess. Okay, I could see that. Nice. He's Russian by right of conquest. I guess it's how Tesla is crazy. USSR was a failed establishment. Okay, I'll have to rip USSR. Never should have existed. If Russia hadn't claimed every artist ever lived there for at least a month, a true Russian, they would have lost 90% of their culture. It's like how we do it here in the Balkans. Whenever there's some Hollywood celebrity and their like grandfather's cat was Croatian, we're claiming them as Croatian. It's one of ours. They are a representation of Croatia. They don't even know where the country is. They don't know anything. They never like fucking mention Croatia. We just claim them anyways. It's like that. Russia is like that, but people actually take them seriously. You know, Serbs do the same thing. Did you know Serbs claim Jesus? Serbs fucking claim Jesus. Well, man. So yeah, Russia's basically that, but people pretend that it's actually like that. No. Jesus was Serbian. I'm sorry. What do you mean, a Finn? How dare you? How dare you take away from Serbian ancestry of Jovan? Described famine in Russian Empire and described the distribution of humanitarian aid from USA. A lot of it. Wasn't there like a whole joke? Who told me about a joke? Fuck. I'm now going to try and find it because I don't want to guess how it was called because I don't want to sound stupid. Bush legs. Bush legs. It was like frozen chicken legs that US used to send to USSR as aid. They were called the bush legs. It was like a joke, you know, that you're getting them. So I don't know. That was news to you? Oh man, I used to go to Serbia regularly. We don't really go recently, so that kind of sucks. But we used to be going to Serbia very, very regularly before COVID. Now we kind of got out of it. And they had a stand with like newspapers in the store we were going to. And the headlines were always so fucking mad. Tabloids in Serbia are fucking great, my dear. You people had, I don't know which celebrity in Serbia died. Oh, but it actually made me not want to go to Serbia for a while. Because one of huge celebrities died in Serbia. And he was an old man. He was more of like a Yugoslav celebrity, Yugoslav time based celebrity. So he died. And for days, Serbian tabloids were filled with photographs of people from the funeral. So, like, what sort of makeup which woman wore at the funeral, who did her makeup, who did her hair, what sort of outfit was she wearing, how much did she pay for this outfit. Look at this one crying, but her makeup is not even smudging. Is she actually crying? But look at this one crying and her makeup is smudging. Do you match? Is it actually like proper makeup, or did she buy something cheap because she has no money anymore? And it was weird. It feels disgusting after a while. You just go like, bro, you're milking this poor man's death. Why? How do you not feel bad about yourself? It was Bogojevo. Bogojevo. It's like right across the border. I live relatively nearby. So we were going very, very often. And then COVID came and then the border closed. And then we figured that we used to be spending a lot of money in Serbia. way more than we needed. It was always like, let's go to Serbia to buy some cheap shit. And then you go and then you buy a lot of shit you don't need at all. So we just kind of don't go anymore. We do go there to eat, so that's cool. Did Russia and USA even interact with each other before the mid-19th century? Ooh. Hey, English Wikipedia has this great thing. Religions. Did you know there's no this in Croatian Wikipedia? Yeah. Oh, you can find it in Serbian, nice, but like in Croatian Wikipedia, you can't find this thing with like relations between two countries, and that sucks. History. Oh shit, yeah, it's like 1991. Soviet Union, United States relations. Established in 1933. But then the Russian Empire and United Stations. They're stations, she goes. Russia officially recognized the United States in 1803, and the two countries established diplomatic relations in 1809. Oh, see? Cordial. They had cordial relations with occasional cultural and commercial exchanges. Russia was neutral during the American Civil War, but tended to favor the North. Which one was the North? I don't know, USA. It sold Alaska on favorable terms in 1867. However, there were also tensions between the two countries, particularly over mistreatment of Jews in Russia in the 1819-1914 era. Trade relations were cordial, but were never a major factor for either nation. Large-scale migration from Russia began in the late 19th century. Minorities emigrated to the US, especially Jews, Poles, Lithuanians, and Finns, but few ethnic Russians. In the late 19th century, the two countries began to cooperate on issues such as maritime law and trade. This cooperation continued into the early 20th century. So like, okay-ish, basically. North was the winners. Oh yes, the North were the good ones. Why did the Serbian dairy farmer run out of milk? The cow fell on the farmer. Why? Austro-Hungary or North? No, look, it's Vojvodina, okay? It's ours. I'm claiming a part of your country, okay? Bogojevo is in Vojvodina. Vojvodina belongs to me. Ones who like the taxes, fucking pay it. Taxes are great. Taxes are good. Taxes are good. I'm a supporter of taxes. The Rus-Ukraine war is low IQ. What does that mean? Could you elaborate? Russia is the greatest country in the world. Berlin, Dresden, Prague, Ljubljana, Paris will be ours. Ljubljana? Now they're claiming Ljubljana. Do you think they know where Ljubljana is? Wasn't the bigger issue that like one of them was quite GG with keeping slaves and the other one isn't? I got the impression that the main issue wasn't really who pays taxes.
Будет только дальше, значит, развиваться, и мы будем все больше и больше приобретать ту роль, которую имела Российская империя. Я же не шутил в прошлой передаче, что, значит, и Берлин, и Дрезден, и Прага, и Любляна, все будет наше. Почему? Так было. Вы понимаете, вот мы когда зашли в Париж в 815 году, Берлин в 41-м, в конце 18 века, это не случайность. Россия самая великая страна в Европе.
Wait, what?
Прага и Любляна, все будет наше.
Ljubljana,
Почему?
he
Так
goes.
было. Вы понимаете, вот мы когда зашли в Париж в 815 году, Берлин в 41-м, в конце 18 века, это не случайность. Россия самая великая страна в Европе, громадная сила.
Всякий раз оттуда уходили. Главный вопрос, зачем мы так безответственно
В
относились
этот
к
раз
своим
не
победам?
Это будет только дальше, значит, развиваться, и мы будем все больше и больше приобретать ту роль, которую имела Российская империя. Я же
What absolute idiots. We're acting like the fate of mankind is being settled over 10,000 square miles of land? Are you aware what betrayal of Munich is? Because, I mean, fate of mankind is a very, very strong term, but the way we react in a situation like this could determine whether or not we have another world war. Because last time we were in a similar situation, the way we acted did determine whether or not we will have another world war. It determined we will. We acted like idiots. We encouraged Hitler to attack further. So, you know, there's a strong possibility same thing is happening now too. So I think it's okay to be very, very strongly opinionated on this and to demand a strong response to this. Can't seem to take Donbass. So Berlin kind of a little tough to take. Yeah, that's too. The problem, they couldn't take Donbass before fucking 2022 even, okay? Like when Ukraine didn't have proper help from its allies, Russians still couldn't control Donetsk nor Luhansk. Just oh. Russians think they beat Napoleon on their own. Yeah, they think they beat Nazis on their own. It's like cute. Nursing States of America, how the United States saved the Russian Empire from starvation at the end of 19th century. Yeah, that. They consider the United States enemy number one, forgetting that the United States has repeatedly helped their country, same as Serbia. So it was during both world wars, official Washington was not only an ally, but also helped with loans and various equipment. Shortly before the First World War, ordinary Americans literally saved the mighty, as it seemed to many then, the Russian Empire from starvation. Don't think Russia has the ability to conduct a large-scale offensive anywhere else because of the last 18 months. The problem is, though, that just like they did after Georgia and just like they did after getting shit kicked out of them in 2014, there's a big possibility they will just regroup and get stronger and then try to attack again in a few years. And that's really a problem. It's not... I think when people talk about the dangers of Russia, I don't think people talk about the dangers of Russia immediately. You know, it's very unlikely that Russia right now is going to, you know, take whatever they get from peaceful negotiations. Peaceful, by the way, very. But it's very unlikely that even if we allow them to keep parts of Ukraine, that they will, you know, try to go deeper anywhere. It's what is more likely is that they will pull back like rats, and they're gonna lick their wounds, and they're going to start another war. So the problem is basically that if you don't, Kasparov said this very, very well. If you don't defeat them right now, if you don't crush the idea of Russian Empire in the mind of every single Russian, they will try again. And the problem with allowing negotiations is that if you give Russia any sort of an excuse to claim victory, they will claim victory. And as long as they claim victory, their people will remain delusional about the possibility of rebuilding the empire. So, you know, it's really important we beat them properly. So in a few years, we don't see them start a war again, because it is almost absolutely sure that they will start a war again, because the imperialist mindset will remain in Russian people. So I think that's why, you know, people are acting like the fate of the mankind is depending on this in a way. I don't think it's necessarily fate of mankind, but like whether or not we have another world war seems to be depending on this. If you allow them to go and lick their wounds, they will come back. They're gonna come back. And do we have the strength, and do we have the will? Maybe would be a stronger question. Do you fight against them then? Because I don't know. I'm kind of scared if we treat them weakly right now too. We're going to do the same thing in like 10 years when they return with even bigger military. So we're gonna be fucked then. Hidden reserves? Russia? Yeah. Yeah. Maybe they still have ways to get weapons? Yeah. They still have ways to get supplies? Yeah. They have tried hard to be building weapons themselves? Yeah. But, you know, do they have a hidden stash? But is unironically like down today. I don't know what's wrong with him. When I logged in to OBS today, he wasn't logged in, and then I logged him in. I had to log him to Twitch, like separately, which I don't really have to do otherwise. And now he's just kinda down. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's being a little bitch. But also, listen, I had a very tough day at work today, so I kinda understand the fact that some losers are sometimes just being losers. Okay, maybe Bot also had a hard day and now he doesn't feel like coming here to work for me too. Their economy will crash, they don't have anything else to do than fuck new generation of orcs to throw at war. Yeah, plus new generation of orcs raised to believe in the empire, right? Because if you don't crush their mindset, it's going to stay. So you're going to have kids who are raised to think that, you know, depending on what they get with these possible negotiations, but you're gonna have these kids believing that Putin actually had to start a war because Ukraine genuinely was planning to go and invade Russia. You're going to have kids genuinely thinking that all Ukrainians are Nazis and Satanists and that the West is trying to push global homo on you. You're going to have these kids believing in this bullshit because the bullshit is going to stay in the whole of society. And then, yeah, then you're kind of having a problem in a few decades. One of them. Tough day at work today. I'm so sorry. I feel you, my man. I hope you're okay. I hope you're having some nice dinner. I stayed longer at work. I stayed hour and a half longer. So that sucked. I was actually driving home and I was like, I don't know why I stayed longer. Like the idea in my head was I'm staying longer because there's stuff I have to do. And if I do this stuff now, I don't have to do them tomorrow at work, right? But like, no, it's gonna pay me for that time. And I still have to go to work tomorrow. It's not like I earned a free day. I still have to go to work. So why did I stay? You know, it. I don't know why I did it. I just did it. Legitimacy to separatist movements in Ukraine after Maidan, or was it just orchestrated by Russia? I do think there was. Part of it definitely was just collaborationists from Ukraine itself, absolutely. If that's what you would consider like legitimacy. A big problem right now is that, how would I say it? There's absolutely no way for you to know how many actual separatists were in eastern Ukraine. There's just no way to know. Because Russia came in and Russia butchered a lot of the people. And they imported a lot of the people. There's no way to know. There's absolutely no way to know the opinions of the people back then. The movement wasn't strong enough to, you know, have enough votes to strongly demand to leave Ukraine. But we can't know. It kinda, yeah, it fucking sucks. It's sexual based. No paid overtime. Yeah, no, I mean technically I could demand. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't get it. I just, yeah, I don't know, bro. Like, I was driving home and being like, dude, you know how they say, like, minimal pay, minimal work? I should just stick to that, because I stayed longer and, you know, then I was more tired when I came home, and then it took me, you know, time to make lunch and then to have lunch. I didn't really have enough time to get a nap before the stream either. Everything was just kind of weird. But also, like, I'm not getting paid for it, and I still have to go to work tomorrow. I would have the same paycheck and still have to go to work tomorrow if I didn't stay longer. I'm having an identity crisis. I'm being like, dude, why the fuck? Vicky, come on, you're not like this. No paid overtime capitalism, paid overtime socialism. Ooh. How would I say that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether our ideas of socialism are the same. Would you say Croatian middle class is better now than 10 years ago? Yeah, we're doing well. I don't know about our middle class. I think our middle class was always good. I think our working class is doing well, though. I think they're doing really, really well. Like when I compare, for example, when we were kids, my mother was the only person working in the house for a while, right? So on her paycheck, we would be raising the entire family. It was sad at times. And when I compare it to the situation now, families, which now would be in the same situation, they're definitely doing so much better. I have family members who are in a very similar situation, but there's one parent who's working, and they are supporting the entire family, and there's so much better shit now than it was years ago, okay? The thing with like how cheaper or even free school books are. Kids get free tablets from school to be using in their studying. You know, just shit like that, small improvements. Bus tickets are much cheaper than what they used to be. Kids have a school bus, we didn't have one. There's a lot of funding that has been going from like either the top of the state or European Union itself that has directly improved lives of many people, right? I'm very pleased with what Croatia is doing. There's still a lot of things to improve on, definitely, but like when it comes to our is that like poor class? What is it? If you have a whole family right now surviving on one income, you are a lot of times in a better situation than you would be 10 years ago in that same situation. Like I remember when I started high school, we genuinely had talks in the family about whether or not I would be able to go to high school, because the bus ticket was basically almost a third of my mother's entire paycheck. So like a third of her paycheck every month would need to be going towards my bus ticket. And we managed it for a while, and then my brother needed to start high school too, you know? And there was no way we could pay 2 bus tickets. There was just no way we could afford that as a family. And this was immediately, we were very, very lucky, because this year, that year when my brother was supposed to start high school, something changed. I don't know what it was, but basically we started getting a lot cheaper tickets to school, and then the next year we had them for free, and they have just been free during the entirety of our schooling ever since. So you know, it's kind of like in real time you could see the situation becoming better. I definitely think Croatia is now in a much better situation than it used to be before. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm interested to see what excuse they're going to make to invade someone else. Oh, Russians? They already said Kazakhstan has Nazis. So I think that's gonna be the first one. I think that's gonna be the start. The thing is, if any country you could claim has Nazis, if you wanna invade it, you know? Like, point me to a country right now and I'll prove to you they have Nazis. Any single one of them, I do it. Any single fucking one of them. So it's one of those excuses that are foolproof. You know what I mean? Like, go on. I could point to fucking Germany right now, find you a bunch of neo-Nazis. USA. Austria. Slovenia. Oh, Israel. That's fun. Does Israel have neo-Nazis? Best thing Tito ever did was say no to Stalin. Yeah, that's true. That is true. That is true. Oh? They may not be having neo-Nazis. Whoa. Nice. Well, that's fair. That's fair. You can't invade Israel. You learned it here first. What did I click on? I clicked on something. Oh, actually, I remember this being huge news. Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, wasn't it? When they found the oldest one. Ultra-nationalist. It's... I guess maybe it would... How do I say this? Like, the examples would depend on the country. Here, ultra-nationalists usually refers to people who... first of all, you would have to be like a strong chauvinist, right? But I don't know, in Croatia specifically, I would connect it to people who would glorify... I want to say all parts of Croatian past, not necessarily, but very likely being Nazis themselves, because we did have ties to Nazis, because, you know, we wanted to have our own state during World War II. So it would be like glorifying every single fucking part of it, plus strong denial of your country's crimes absolutely has to be a part of that. I think that's actually, for me, that's like the first red flag when you speak to people about this. is to try to mention some war crimes that country did, that it did without a doubt, and you try to check out their reaction. Because mostly they will be very, very strong on defending whatever their country was doing. Usually they will have prescriptions on how to do similar things in the future to make the country better or more pure. So a lot of lots of nationalists do, but ultra-nationalists tend to be, ultra on this. They have a whole idea on how they should be ethnically cleansing the lands that their nation currently is taking, because it must be a nation state made up only of members of their own nation. If you wanted to make a country a prosperous place for one group of people and ban all other languages and customs, in big part, yeah. But also like very strong idea of your country just naturally being better than the others. And then plus wanting to making your country a prosperous place for one group is like an interesting way to say it, but yeah. A lot of them do believe in that. I don't know if you've seen this one. Oh shit, guys. There's one Destiny video I want to recommend to you, but I don't remember how it was called. But there's this one video in which Destiny is speaking to a man who believes in nation states. And the entirety of the video is this dude being absolutely stupid on what building a nation state means. And it kind of formed strongly my opinion of ultranationalists too, because anyone really believing that we should kick out all the people of the other group and just keep our own group in, most of that is just stupidity. Most of that is just dumbassery. It's falling for populism. Lots of ultranationalists are just people who have fallen for stupid ass ideology because, they need something extreme to identify with. America first, ultranationalist or not necessarily? I think not necessarily. If you also wanna, ethnically cleanse America of everyone you deem not American enough, that I could see that. I could see that. But if it's just America first, it depends. You could just be nationalist. Almost always redentist too. Yeah, that too. Israel versus Palestine. The only reason NATO hasn't got involved is Israel nuclear power and oil. Also religious things. It is. I do. Okay, here's the thing. I don't know if NATO got involved. I don't know how NATO would get involved. You know what I mean? There's an interesting... I went to a stream recently. I was actually complaining about this once on John's stream. While John was still... Plain Talk John, the man who raided us. He's an amazing streamer, by the way. Go check him out. But he was doing politics streams recently. Until recently. And on one of these political streams, he was making comments about Israel-Palestine. I went there to bitch, because before that I was talking to another streamer who was an American, trying to comment on Israel and Palestine. And they were claiming they have a way to solve the situation there. And I was like, okay, what's your solution to the situation? And they said kick Jews out. Kick Israelis out of the land that they don't have a claim to. I was like, okay, kick them out. To where? And they just didn't know. I don't know if they imagined that there's like a place where you're gonna take Israelis and chunk them in. Like you're gonna make a new island or something. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Do you know how a big part of these people got there in the first place? Like a lot of these things where it's like, oh, maybe the world should get involved, maybe NATO should get involved. I think it shows strong, lack of understanding of the situation. How do you think they should get involved? How do you think they should be getting involved in the situation? By doing what? And the problem is that no matter what answer you give to this, you maybe have theories on how they could be getting involved. Maybe you have a theory on which solution they should be pushing for. Any solution you say is going to be a solution that not all Palestinians agree with. Like, there's no solution that they would agree on. We don't know. The two-state solution, for example, so we had someone in chat recently who was like, yeah, we just do the two-state solution. You can't just do the two-state solution, because a lot of people involved don't like the two-state solution. Are you going to come from the outside and push it onto them? Because if you come from the outside and push it onto them, you know what you're doing? You're doing the same thing we did when we created this fucking mess in the first place. You're drawing lines around. And by drawing lines around, you are shitting on people in the region. It's no matter what you do as an outsider, it's going to be a problem. I don't know if there's a proper solution. I don't know if there's like an easy answer to the conflict. But also, yeah, I don't know how I feel about people commenting on it as if it's very, very easy to solve. Let's besiege Moscow and give it to Israel. Yeah, that would be base. That would be base. I could agree with that. They never had religion hate and anti-Semitism in Albania. They had interesting views towards Serbia during our wars, but America already had genocide. There's also a trail of tears, box blankets, and reservations. Oh yeah, shit. Yeah, that too. My neo-Nazi brother doesn't like blacks or Jews. He's probably ultra-nationalistic, although he likes them old-school German dudes from the 30s. Ooh. Why do you have a neo-Nazi brother? Accelerationism? Yeah, wasn't thinking about it too much. I think it's the strongest opinion I can give to you. It's one of those things where you were like, an interesting viewpoint to watch a few YouTube videos on and to then forget about. Because it's like, wait, let me check if I'm thinking of the proper one. Oh, you already sent it. Nice. It's like, you know, it's funny to watch a few YouTube videos and be like, I remember someone asked something similar in chat before. But then it's also like, how do I say this? Have you ever met a Marxist who does anything in their life? Like, be honest with me here. Have you ever met a communist who does anything in their life? Have you ever met an anarchist who does anything in their life? The answer to this is no. Their parties, whenever they have any sort of party in a parliament, they get like 0.1% of votes. These people have nothing. They have no representation in the normal world. They dream of a revolution that is never going to happen because they don't have the support necessary, nor do they have the ability to be active politically. They will never create any sort of a change. So whenever they have these ideas of like, oh yeah, we need to sabotage, we need to create social change to destabilize existing systems, bro, you're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. They're gonna sit in their homes and never do anything. They don't have that sort of a power. So I don't really see them as any sort of a threat, nor do I see, you know, it's like, it's one of those things that are like funny to watch. Funny to be like, look at these people dreaming about revolution. And then you just kind of go and do something productive with your existence and forget that these losers exist. Not to mention that the whole thing with like, oh, I'm gonna cause a revolution in society. It's one thing to say something like that when you live in Russia, when you live in Belarus, when you live in Iran, when you live in Moldova, when you live in Georgia, Poland, countries where there's actual reasons to be fighting against the government which oppresses you, and you want to take them down and you want to replace them with someone you see as more representative of the people. And it's a whole another thing to say that when you're sitting in your home on your cozy ass and you're dreaming about Russia coming in and overtaking your entire life, which is what a lot of Marxists specifically seem to be doing. They dream of USSR, they dream of bullshit. These people do not have their opinions based in reality, which again is why they have no proper representation in politics. It's because they don't exist on any sort of reasonable ground. So yeah. Spicy, how do you always have like the weirdest fucking takes? Altruism holds that individual fulfillment occurs through service to others. Most religions openly state this, and it is a driving force in socialism and communism too. I don't think it is. I don't think it's a driving force in socialism nor communism. But I do think they want to make it seem that way. Revolution? Nah, we don't have revolution. We're just chill. USA specifically. USA is crying about a civil war in USA every few months. There hasn't been a single civil war in USA. Like, you guys remember when Trump won and people were saying there's gonna be a civil war in USA? Come on. USA is just very dramatic. Their people are very dramatic on a lot of things. When it was not forbidden, commies here were constant in parliament, and commie leader also became president. But not see them ideologic, more pro-Russians using vatniks. Ah, that too. Yeah, a lot of them are just hiding the Russian ideology. That too, yeah, valid point. We never had them here, because we bullied the fuck out of them. So I guess I'm kind of lucky when it comes to that. It's an insult here if someone claims you're a communist. So we have politicians accusing each other of being communist and using it as an actual insult. We don't really have any real communists. I feel like if you were to say that communism is a part of your political drive, you would probably be kicked out. Like, no one would ever vote for you ever again. So I'm probably kind of blessed to be living in a country like that, to be fair. Pop psychology, I don't know how to say this in a way to make it more clear, but like, your username really fits the energy of things you've been writing. It's a perfect fit almost. But yeah, Ayo, talking about European Union, because we were talking about how great European Union is, I saw a video from EU Made Simple, and it's on why European Union should not accept new members yet. It's something that I disagree with. My initial opinion is that I disagree with the idea European Union should not accept new members. The one, I guess, best way to actually reach some sort of a, I don't want to say compromise, but like a reasonable solution, I guess would be to implement a way to get in new members without specifically calling them members, right? So you get in new countries, but they don't have to technically be members. You call them, like, I don't know, what the fuck would be like a step lower than a member? Members, I like members. No, but you do something like, even now, if we take the candidate status and we make it stronger, I feel it could work. I want to do something like that because I want these countries to be getting affiliates. Yes, yes, that's a good word. That's a good word to use. Affiliate status. And then you get upgraded into a partner. It's almost like on Twitch, you get little badges on your country. I feel there should be a way for these countries to get European Union cash money, is what I'm saying. I feel they should have a way to get European Union cash money. They are getting it now. I just wanted it to be more secure because you know the website EU Neighbors East. Where is it? Here it is. So it shows how European Union projects are happening in European Union possible member states. So it's not members, but it's like, for example, Georgia. See, there's been like 20 new projects to build capacities for organizations in Ukraine under Erasmus Plus, stuff like that, right? So European Union is giving a lot of cash money to states around, but I don't think this is organized as well as it could be. I think we should have a lot stronger ways to do this, and I think we should have a lot stronger ways to talk about this, because a lot of people I talk to, they don't know European Union is also giving money to non-European Union members, and I feel this should be more known. And I feel like one way to make this more known would be to give these countries some sort of a special status because they are getting cash money. So basically, I want all countries to be able to get affiliate status, to get money, because I believe with money, it's going to be easier for them to improve their standing. And also, if you give them money and they refuse to improve their standing, like, I don't know, Hungary is doing right now with being given European Union funds and then just not using them properly and being a little shithole of a country, it would be quite easy to just kick them out of the affiliate status. There should be a mechanism to kick a country out, which we do not have currently in the member status, which is a big problem because of Hungary being a shithole. So yeah. Everyone's in, then everyone will want out, like with Yugoslavia. Okay, yeah, if we give too much power in European Union to one single country, other countries could want to go out. That is true. Wait, Russians attacking Ukraine are not real Russians? For what? I think I missed something. USA going to make civil war, doing nothing really. Ukraine planning peaceful protests and making revolutions instead. Yeah. Using Molotovs. Using fucking Molotovs, my dude. Come on. Ukrainians are goddamn based. But yeah, video.
Turkey became a candidate in
No,
1999.
put it to the start.
The European Union has a long list of candidate countries wishing to join. Turkey became a candidate in 1999.
Fucking Turkey.
North Macedonia in 2005.
Macedonia.
Montenegro in 2010. Serbia in 2012. Albania in 2014. And Moldova, Ukraine, and Bosnia and Herzegovina in 2022.
It's Herzegovina.
But even though some countries have been
Yeah,
waiting
Turkey
for
wanted
over
to be a
10
member for a while.
years,
Not
we
anymore.
firmly believe that the EU should not accept any new members.
Why?
Yet.
Let me hear your
So why should
argument.
the EU expand its borders? Let's preface this by saying that we have absolutely no problem bringing more members into the EU. In fact, from a geopolitical perspective, we strongly encourage it. China and Russia have already asserted their presence along the EU border, in particular in the Western Balkan region. So, if the EU doesn't offer a clear path to membership for these countries, foreign influence may only grow stronger, thereby
True.
destabilizing our continent.
True.
Nonetheless, we feel that there are two key factors that stop a new country from joining the EU.
Which ones?
Firstly, the EU is simply not ready
Why?
for a 28th member. And secondly, the candidate countries are not ready to join the EU either. In this video, we will look at the first.
I disagree with the first point. 100%. I wonder how they're going to explain it, but I'm strongly feeling that it will be a shit explanation. Now, when it comes to the other one, I see what they mean about this, probably. But my guess is they're going to be basing this on European Union rules that I am against in the first place. So you say like candidate country is not ready to join European Union, but you say this coming from the place of candidate country is not ready to join European Union because it doesn't fulfill all of these requirements. I'm coming from a place of like these specific requirements should not be existing in the first place because some of them are just bullshit. So yeah. Explanation, yeah, they're gonna do explanations. Oh, they asked for Sweden to watch for them, really? I'd probably be living in UK if they didn't leave you. Hey, did you have you were already there? I was working on getting a job there, my dude. There was a job opening in UK for Croatian translators. There was a job opening, and at the time I was like among the first people who applied, and I spoke to this woman, and she was amazing, and she was like, where basically it was supposed to be very low paying for their standards, but I just wanted to be in UK, to be honest. I just wanted to have a start there. So I'm talking to this woman, and we're like arranging for the proper job interview to happen, and she's like, oh yeah, but how's like the visa situation with Croatia? And we learned that actually her firm had the ability to keep it. It was like a token, and you get a token, and then it gives you the ability to go and to get a visa for that specific firm, because when you apply to work for them, they have a way to get workers from abroad. And it was happening because of European Union. The only reason why they had this ability was because they were part of European Union. So at the time, I was like, yeah, okay, nice, this is gonna be fucking great. Yeah, let's go. And a few months later, there's talks about Brexit. And I'm like, no. Fucking no. And she's like, oh yeah, we don't know how the ability to get foreign workers is gonna go with Brexit possibly happening, because we are not currently attempting to employ any foreigners from European Union because we don't know if we will be able to keep the contract. So yeah. Salisbury, nice. Croatian, UK Sims. UK is a good country to be in, my dude. UK is a good country to be in. Same shit, yeah. So like Brexit didn't even happen, and she was already like, oh yeah, I'm not sure if we can get like Croatians from outside, because I'm not sure if I can guarantee you your contract, and like it's gonna cost. Basically, the thing was that I would be getting some sort of help in finding an apartment and shit, and then she was like, yeah, I don't really know if that makes sense, if I'm gonna have to kick you out. So yeah, Brexit fucking sucks. Yeah, it makes sense you got timed out when you ask these questions in other chats, because your questions were fucking stupid. EU has passed a bunch of green laws about battery-powered motor stuff. Main ingredient in batteries are cobalt. Ever seen how cobalt is mined? No. I actually, when it comes to a lot of these things, I don't know too much about them. Not even lying. I almost used the word unironically. I am relatively uneducated of these things. Fix-It movement is birthed in Finland. It was so dumb. But like Finland getting out? Do you think UK will ever ask to be back? Yes. I do think they will want to be back. I don't know if it's gonna be smart of them to go. Basically, now it's a problem. They had like benefits before they left, and now they're not gonna be able to get it back. They're going to be in a shittier situation they were before they left, but in a better situation than they are in right now, I would assume. So overall, all of it just seems like UK doing very stupid things, and now they're kind of fucked up to the point of no return. Exit. My ex was a politician, so I knew about even the smallest movements here. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. That's fucking great. Had benefits with my ex. Who is Croatia better than? Everyone. Everyone. Croatia is just better because it's better than every single one person existing. Oh, I'm in a tiny window because we're supposed to be watching videos in this part of the stream, but instead of watching videos in this part of the stream, we're kinda not really doing that. I do have a video screen for this one, which is like the chatting one. So I'm supposed to be doing chatting here, my dude. Okay, when I talk to you about why Croatia is better than any other country existing, I'm supposed to be here. But I have like half a brain in this call, and I don't really remember to do it. This is Osijek, by the way. This is Osijek live stream. So if you exist on the streets right now, I can see you. Yeah. Says it's scientifically proven. It's scientifically proven. So come on. How's UK fucked? How is UK not fucked? UK is not doing well recently at all. I'm not sure if they have gotten any sort of benefits from leaving. Aren't they having like whole issue with their leading party right now, in huge part because of the economy of the country, which in huge part has been caused by them leaving European Union. Oh, it ain't terrible. It's better than it was, though. It's better than it was. I remember when they just left the EU. You remember when they didn't have enough workers to work on the grain and shit? Vegetables. When we were seeing daily reports about how UK doesn't have enough people to be driving trucks around, and because of this, all the vegetables are rotting around. That was kind of fun. So, oh no, actually, there's a reason why the title of the video is like that. And it's because today we were supposed to watch a video. Fuck, now I need to bring you to the video screen. Today we were supposed to watch the video. And it's this one. And we were supposed to watch this one. But then we talked about a bunch of other things, so we didn't. Yeah. That's the reason. That's the reason. Was okay, but that was 10 years ago. I do know their economy is just absolutely shit. I know their economy is not doing so well after they left. I don't really look into UK too much recently, apart from them being just chaos. Because, you know, they're not part of European Union. Their opinions don't really affect me as much as European Union states do after they've left. So, commies come. How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you? I'm gonna be... I should be called NATO scum. I should be changing my name to that. Attempted assassination of Western political officials for the accelerationist goal of mass political reform. I think all of it is bullshit. I think all of it sounds like something that Hassan would be arguing for. That's what I think. Title is a lot of words that don't really mean anything. No, they mean a lot. They mean a lot, okay? How dare you? Fuck guys, hey, we haven't watched our video on European Union yet. I'm not gonna be able to watch one video during the stream, okay? I had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them saved. I'm gonna be able to watch first a minute and 19 seconds of one of them. But yeah, so we'll have to do dunking on socialism tomorrow probably, because what I have saved is the video on why socialism is scientifically just better, which presents no evidence at all of socialism being better, but also there's other 2 videos debunking that one, so I'm feeling like we have to watch that one too. And the reason I want to watch that one is because last stream we watched a video by Balkan Odyssey, who was very stupid, and he did the video with Yugobnik, who was also very stupid. I'm just kind of salty about that trash part of the internet, and I want to be mocking them for a while. Maybe there's other stuff to join. That there is. You could join USA. We could be another star on the flag of USA. What do you think about that? I actually support the idea. I feel like we could be the best star there. I feel like we could be a special one. You know, all the other stars on the USA flag, they kind of look like basic ass bitch stars because that's what they are. I feel like if Croatia joins, we could actually be a proper one. We could actually be, you know, interesting. Hope it's not a fucking... No, of course it's not a red star. Holy shit, you think we would be bringing Yugoslavia? My dude. No, of course not. We would be like squarey. We would be squarey to represent the Croatia properly. We would be actual golden. That would be cool. That's what we would want. Like all of the other stars, just bleh, basic. And then we are the golden one. Whenever you like draw it, you have to use actual proper gold in your color. That's what we would be. That's what I would force people to be. So Croatia would be the special one. It's like in games when you just unlock new territory and it's like, gold. That's what we would be. Look, we would be squarey, okay?
Factor only. And we will also
Oh, he's gonna be looking into the first factor only, but the first factor is the shit one.
look into possible solutions. The second factor will be covered in a future video, so subscribe to the channel if you're interested.
They're doing the bullshit here with like blue balling me. Hey, he's joining now. That too. UK would join, and every fag would need to have a real rare stone from India. Oh. Fair point.
So why is the EU not ready? Let me tell you a story to explain this. And yes, I'm going to have to pick on Hungary once again. Since the early 2010s, there have been concerns about Hungary's actions and policies that some believe undermine key EU principles, such as media freedom, judicial independence, treatment of minorities, and corruption. As a consequence, in 2022, the European Commission recommended to block 7.5 billion euros of EU funding to Hungary. The Commission drew up a list of reforms that would have to be met before the money would be released. Obviously, Hungary's leader, Orban, was not happy and decided to go on an EU blocking spree, hindering EU progress wherever he could. For instance, an 18 billion euro support package to Ukraine. 26 countries said yes, Hungary said no. A minimum corporation tax of 15% for corporations across the EU. 26 countries said yes, but Hungary said no. Arms to Ukraine. 26 countries said yes, but Hungary said no. All of these proposals required unanimity, meaning that all 27 countries have to agree. And in this case, Hungary strategically vetoed. One can also call it blackmail, to try and unfreeze EU funds. And it worked. On the 15th of December last year, the EU unblocked some of the funds to Hungary, and in return, Hungary withdrew their veto. I think this example shows why the veto vote is such a problem for Europe, both at home and abroad, as it hinders EU...
Losing all of that money for not going woke. Would you say they're still asleep? But yeah, it's not just about them not going woke, it's about Orban wanting to steal a lot of cash. Orban has created kleptocracy. He has created oligarchs in Hungary. Orban single-handedly created oligarchs because he was giving so much cash money to his friends. So the situation right now is that any money he gets from European Union, he will have to steal and put into the system he himself created. Which European Union obviously doesn't like, but you know, his friends obviously don't really like not getting the cash money that they were hoping to be able to get. So it's, you know, it's a very problematic situation for our dude Orban right now, because he has to be appear to be friendly to European Union in order to get you know, the cash money, but at the same time he has to be paying lots of cash to these oligarchs who may not want him to go the woke direction. But then if you don't follow what European Union tells, you will not be getting cash money and you will not be able to pay your oligarchs. But then you get cash money and you pay your oligarchs, and European Union is gonna see this and they're not gonna give you any money anymore. So then you're fucked again. He's basically just fucked. Send him off to somewhere. Who? Orban? Where? Veto's way of doing all politics. Yeah, it's a shit way of doing politics if you enable one country to overturn the decision of like so many other ones. Of course, it's going to be a shit time. Mini Putin, yeah. Yeah. he sucks, my man. He sucks. But yeah, but also like the whole thing of them not being woke. It's because of corruption. The biggest part is corruption and judicial system being shit. It's not really that much about wokeism. He tried to present it as wokeism because he knows that's how you get people on your side. You tell them, hey, big bad European Union is not giving me cash money because I'm refusing to be woke. And people are like, really? Horrible, Orban, horrible. That is just evil. We need to fight for your dignity and honor. And then they completely ignore the fact that man is corrupt as shit and has been corrupt for the past few decades. Liberum veto. Allowed any member of the same to force an immediate end to the current session and to nullify any legislation that had already been passed at the session by shouting either sisto activitatem or nie pozwalam. Zwalam. Why do you have a word? Why do we have the word? It was based on the premise that since all the Polish Lithuanian noblemen were equal, every measure that came before Sejm had to be passed anonymously. That makes no sense. Like, if they're all equal, why do you give one of them a chance to overturn the ruling of the other ones? If they're all equal, shouldn't they be like one person, one vote? Cancelled everything? Holy shit. Yeah, it's a shit system. It seems a shit system in any place where it's been introduced. I don't know why it even exists in European Union. Why not just go with the votes of the majority? Was corrupt is corrupt, will corrupt. Corruption in Slav countries feels like, an expected thing. Like, come on, we've been a part of European Union for quite a long time, and we still are corrupt as shit, it's kind of how you live life if you're one of us. So I don't particularly get bothered by corruption. After Topson only streams on Kick or YouTube, no Vatniks have shown up. Oh shit, really? Oh really? That kind of sucks. Do we go and bully Topson instead? Someone needs to bully Topson. We need to start bullying him so he feels happy doing streams again. I think that allowing him to feel peace for this long is making him a bit too, relaxed in his environment. We need to poke him. Someone tell him you're gonna fuck his mother. It's a circle jerk now. We need to fix it. What do we disagree with Topson on? Can we go and bully Topson? What do we disagree with Topson on? Is there an opinion that that we could poke him on? Nah, I wanna poke him. I wanna poke him in the ass. 133 IQ. Hey, can you do me a favor though? Can you guys do me a favor before he starts stream? Can you do a little experiment for me? Can you go to that Mensa site and do the IQ test? Did you try to do it while he was doing it? Because I think there's a possibility it gives 133 IQ to everyone. You got 144, I got 133. And I was like, do you think it gives 133 to everyone? Because that would be a real IQ test score if it gives 133 to everyone. And then it checks who is bragging about it. It's like those, those IQ tests online where like you solve the test and then you need to pay them and then they send you like a little diploma back at your house, like that's the IQ test. That's all of these like little questionnaires you solved before. That wasn't the actual IQ test. The actual IQ test was whether or not you're gonna give them cash money to send a diploma to your house. So Myanmar civil war, not much. And ironically, most of the things I know about it, I know because I watched Dylan Burns a lot. That I'm not even lying. Usually I just focus on figuring out what's going on in Europe, and there's a lot of things to talk about in Europe. Wait, where's Cake? That I don't really follow anything else. What a piece of shit. Guys, listen. I don't care how you do it. Go solve that fucking test. Go cheat on it. Go get a higher score so we can bully you. A little bit. By the way, someone said like person who actually has 133 wouldn't be bragging about it. My brother has 148. And he's bragging about it a lot. Like a proper IQ test, not an online one, a proper one. He had to do an IQ test IRL because little bit because he had strong migraines. So it was like a connection to that. He needed to do an IQ test. He needed to do some brain scans, and then they tried to figure out how to solve his migraines. You know how they solved them. They didn't. Nothing was done. At one point, someone suggested going to alternative medicine. He went to acupuncture. Apparently, it helped for a while. But I've read that acupuncture seems to be mostly placebo. So I don't know if it worked, or if it kind of worked. But yeah, nothing solved them. They just kind of went away. Like, way later. So 100 is average, but I feel everyone gets more than 100. Yeah, I feel like the average maybe like maybe they set the average at I want to say 110. So if you get 100, you're actually at 90, but I feel bad telling you that. I kind of want to get though. I wanna get an IQ test because I wonder where I would fall. Like a proper one. But you know what? I'm scared. I'm scared that my result is gonna be like in 2 digits. What if I do the IQ test and then it's like 82? So I want to do it, but also I want to forget I did it, and then I only want to learn about the result if it's good. You know what I mean? Darknet things really had baits, like answer about yourself, and if you really give your data, you're not allowed because you're stupid child that will ruin everything. Fucking based. Oh shit, that's how they should be doing the IQ test. Like the first question is, what's your address? What are the numbers on your parents' credit card? And the 3 numbers in the back. 90 is average. Oh, I thought 100 was the average. Average IQ in Ukraine is 90, so Topsen is way above average there. Oh. Average IQ in Bosnia is like 86, if I remember correctly. How's your maths? Okay. I used to be real good in mathematics. I used to be really, really good at it. I have a thing of being very creative in the way I explain mathematical shit to myself. So I used to be really good at mathematics because of that. Like I knew how to visualize a task, and then I could somehow solve it in my head in a way that would make sense, and it made studying mathematics really, really easy. So I was really, really good at that. 2 beer more better than 1 beer. Fuck you. That's bullying. Average IQ by country was Croatia. 95, 75. Japan, Taiwan, Singapore, Hong Kong, China, South Korea, Belarus. Belarus. Finland, Liechtenstein, Netherlands, Germany. Okay. Belarus? Based on student test scores in reading, math, and science. Hey, Poland! Highest intelligence capital index. And then highest IQ. Oh shit. Russia is above Croatia. I just need you to know. I just need you to know Russia is above Croatia. So this is false. Calculus score? Calculus is like mathematics. What do you use calculus for, like mathematics classes? Russia and North Korea isn't on that list. On like the dumbest ones. On minus, they go so far into minus, they come in plus again. No dummies do IQ tests. Like one person in Russia allowed to do the IQ test. Math calculus. Oh, it is used for like classes. I was excelling at those. I was great at those. I was great at mathematics and I was great at English, which like it's kind of ironic considering the fact my English is fucking chaotic. Hardest subject in Europe? Polish. Oh, history for Russians. You know why history is a very, very hard subject for Russians? It's because they open the history book and they cry and they smudge all of it. And then they can't figure out what they've been reading. Like, it's the same problem in Serbia, but they also find physics hard. So, you know, it's like a tie, but very similar to that. We have math, great. Math, countries which fear math are better inherently than countries which fear physics. You fucking losers, you yellow losering countries. Piss color, look at this. Yeah, look at us now. Look at biology. Biology? What do you learn in biology? Oh, some human biology theories in 20th century. You think it's because of that? Think it's connected to that? Is that part of the classes? Hello guys, welcome to your first biology class. On today's biology class, we've been learning about biology experiments done by some of our own. Why biology though? Biology was easy. When I think about it also, why history? How the fuck? What's like math and physics I understand. Polish I definitely understand. But history and biology? Bro, that's like easy. Also chemistry, I've just noticed chemistry. They do not learn it, but they consume it. True. Hardest subject in Europe. Finland has physics on it, and I'm really good at physics. Maybe you're not a Finn. Have you ever thought about that? You need to do one of those like genetic tests, because it seems like you're an imposter and you didn't even know until now.
Progress.
What did you
slows
find
the
hard?
EU's
Was it
ability to
Polish?
react quickly to global crises, and incentivizes member states to hold the EU at ransom to get special treatment.
Just
so that they won't
remove
veto.
veto.
Currently, 27 member states have a veto power. However, if the 8 candidate countries
By the
were
way,
to
can
join
I
the
just
bloc-
be fucking salty about this? Can I just be goddamn fucking salty about this? Look at this shithole. Look at that coat of arms. Are you noticing? Are you noticing their coat of arms? Look at this shithole and look at their coat of arms. Look at this one and look at this one and look at this one and look at this one. You notice all of their fucking coat of arms? You notice how they look normal and not squished at all? And then do you notice this? Because he is not supposed to look like this. Okay, this is not the natural state of our coat of arms. They squished ours, but they don't squish theirs. Theirs are always left to look normal, and ours is always eh. And I don't know why they do this. In every single video they made so far, they squish our coat of arms. Finnish one is fucked too. Wait, true. Heck yeah. We're losers together, I guess. It pisses me off. It pisses me off. You think? It could be. Theirs always looks like a loser symbol. Yeah, look at these ones, also kind of looking silly. So why the fuck did they not squish the bottom ones? Why are they okay with squishing members and not okay with squishing these losers? I feel like that's some sort of discrimination. Create a new Croatian flag competition. Ooh. We had an idea for a flag a few years ago. It was supposed to have squares on it and it was beautiful. And then we decided to keep the old one. Sweden deserves everything. They're rich as fuck. You could just put piss in here and that's it, and pretend it's Sweden, and they would deserve that too because they are rich and they're happy and they're doing well. Fuck them.
This would result in 35 members.
Imagine doing
each
well.
with a potential veto vote. Such a scenario could effectively paralyze EU progress, potentially
He looks
rendering
very
it
squished.
ineffective and irrelevant. Thus, we believe that EU enlargement needs to go hand in hand with EU reform. But to understand this, let's first explain how things work today. The European Union has two legislative institutions, the European Parliament and the Council of the EU. The Council of the EU, consisting of national ministers from all member states, holds equal legislative authority together with the European Parliament. But crucially, the Council possesses veto powers in key policy areas, including foreign policy, fiscal policy, and social
Slovenia
security.
deserves to be
Not
forgotten.
all EU decisions are made unanimously.
But yeah, I think,
For
because I
less
was looking
contentious
for it. I
topics,
didn't
the
see.
EU uses qualified majority voting, also called QMV, which requires agreement from 55% of member states, representing 65% of the European population. So the answer is simple, right? The EU could simply remove the unanimity vote and use QMV instead. Both French and German ministers share this perspective.
'Cause they're
and aim
based.
to utilize the Passerelle clause, enabling operational changes within the Union without treaty amendments. If all countries agree, then the EU can switch from unanimity to qualified majority voting for crucial areas such as taxation and foreign policy. This isn't perfect, however. Smaller member states argue that they feel left out when following this model, as their low populations mean they don't have the voting power to stand up against the larger powers. To fix this issue, while avoiding the troublesome veto vote, we could have a system where key legislation requires a supermajority to be
Based.
approved. Basically, a step up from qualified majority voting. This means that if 75% of the member states, representing 80% of the EU's population, agree on a proposal, it should pass. If we look at the 7 areas where EU countries currently have a veto vote, we would allow some of these to be decided upon with a supermajority vote. This would speed up the EU's decision-making process, while still allowing for smaller member states to band together and put a stop to any proposal
Seems
that
based.
disproportionately hurts them. Also, we probably shouldn't completely remove
Croatia.
the veto vote either. Some topics,
Slovenia
such
is
as
a
EU
big
membership,
pond.
may make sense to require
Is
full
pond a
support
word for
of
that?
the entire union. So now we
Puddle?
have two clear options. First, the French and German proposal
Too early,
to use
though.
qualified majority voting for
Too
policy
soon, my man,
areas
too
such
soon.
as foreign policy and tax. Or second, to create a new category of voting called supermajority voting. The irony is, however, that to implement either option, it requires all 27 countries to agree with each other. And guess what? Poland and Hungary have already stated that they have no interest in removing the veto vote. In
Poles.
fact, according to Euronews, there could be up to 9 countries that will oppose changes to unanimity.
Poles.
Meaning that it's unlikely to change anytime
Traitors.
soon. We have extensively talked about unanimity. being
You
the
little
most
traitors, you
important
little
area in
traitory
need of
bitches.
reform Before we take in new members. But there are many other areas that
Song
need to be
about army
evaluated.
corruption.
For example, the
Wait, do you
rotating
have it?
presidency of the Council of the EU. Currently, EU member states hold the EU presidency for 6-month cycles. However, with the potential addition of 8 more countries, the total number of member states would be around 35, resulting in a waiting period of 17 years before a country can assume the presidency again.
Okay.
This extended duration raises concerns about the practicality and effectiveness of the current system, indicating a need for reform to address the
Okay, listen, here's a most based solution in the universe, okay? You know how Bosnia has 3 presidents at a time? We do the same system, but we do it with European Union. Solved.
considerable waiting time for member states. Next, there's the parliament seat distribution.
Just get
Currently,
more
the
chairs
European
in.
Parliament seats are allocated to member states based on their population size. The number of seats in the parliament is capped at 750.
Why is it capped?
With each member state receiving a minimum of 6 seats. When more countries join
They,
the European Union,
unironically, it's probably capped because they can't fit any more chairs in the room. I feel that's it. I don't know why it would be capped. Like, why would you cap it? Why would you be like, this is how many members we can have? Why would you do that to yourself? And why 751? It's such a stupid number too. Like, what? I don't know. Nothing of this makes sense. Just change the fucking number, you
it
losers.
can create challenges with regard to the allocation.
10
as we either
presidents
add
at the
new
same
seats
time.
to the parliament or dilute the seats of existing member states. Either way, it will result in a loss of power for existing member states.
Okay.
Next, there are the commissioners. The current model of having one commissioner from each member state in the EU Commission, representing one policy area, may face challenges with 35 potential members. The increased number of commissioners could make the structure
Why
more
is it a great
cluttered
number?
and potentially less efficient in decision-making and coordination. Then there might be the
They say more cluttered, but like it's actually having representation from every single country who is a member, and there would be more members. So you would just need to figure out how to work with more people. Like, I don't see any of this as a real problem. You know, like introducing more seats to the parliament so we have more seats in. How is it a problem if like more people are introduced to represent their own country? I'm genuinely not seeing a problem with that. Like, oh, it's gonna dilute the votes of countries which currently have seats. Yeah, this has happened every single time a new member has joined. It's a normal thing. As your organization grows, you will have to work with new countries who have, you know, who also want to be represented and who want to have a free and fair chance to share their opinions and, you know, get the results they want. I'm truly not seeing why they're presenting this as like, oh yeah, European Union should not allow new members in because we're going to dilute the votes of all the members if we allow new members in. Yeah, I don't know how that's a real argument.
the biggest one yet, EU budget. New EU member states are likely to become net receivers of the EU budget. This means that existing EU countries might need to contribute more or receive less. For instance, the EU might need to rethink its agricultural policy, where it currently offers its member states a lot of support. Here's what we think though. We should accept no new EU members without significant EU reform. And significant EU reform will be very unlikely, as some member
Base
states
they're
will
using
most likely
Barnabić while
block
talking
any
about
real
this.
change. Therefore, maybe there's only one way forward, a multi-tiered EU, or as some like to call
Yay!
it, a multi-speed EU. This basically means that some countries integrate further while others don't. This is a topic I'm going to get into a lot.
Can I just point out that they're doing the more integration, less integration thing, and Croatia is in the less integration part? And I don't know why Slovenia is also there. Slovenia doesn't fit that. Whoever made this video, EU made simple, this is a Frenchie. That is a French person. That is someone from the West. This, the British. Someone broken. Someone from one of those broken nations, okay? Why the fuck are we in Slovenians in the less integration part?
Lot more in the future, so subscribe to the channel if you're interested. In the meantime, I've made a video about this in the past. It is a bit old, but still very relevant in case you want to check it out. See you in the comments, and until next time.
Okay, fully disagree with this. I fully disagree with this. Probably racist, definitely racist. Why is he watching? By the way, we have to go to... Oh, he's watching. Penguin. What's Penguin talking about? I've got no idea. I haven't seen his last video, but we might actually go to Dobson's and watch it, because I am about to finish my stream. I am about to leave. I'm gonna give you the link. Listen, tomorrow's stream, we have to finally watch the socialism video, okay? I've saved the socialism video, and I've saved the debunking of socialism video. And also I'm planning to present you with a couple of researches, because I actually went to look into this during the weekend on the whether socialism is actually scientifically. And what I have learned is that the reason why Hakim has privated that video is because he just lies in it, and it's not true at all that socialism is scientifically better. So yeah, we were supposed to watch that today, and then we didn't, because someone was talking about slap fighting and sending me links to stuff. Okay. This was not my fault. Okay, this was not my fault. It was not me who sent me the links. Okay, it was you. So it's your fault. It is your fault. Okay, why did we look into United States and Russian Empire relations? Good question. I don't know. Why did we look into accelerationism? I don't know either. Why did we look into Russian Foreign Ministry announcing a fair scenario for the end of war? I don't know. Okay, it's because you people sent me the links. How fucking dare you? But also the stream did start a bit later because I was late from my work, so that too. You could just sleep less for longer streams. The fact is, I already sleep a lot less. What I should actually do is come back home earlier from work, which is what I'm planning to do tomorrow. That is what I'm planning to do tomorrow. I'm planning to finish on time. Like, today was my first day actually staying for a very, very long time at work. And I'm genuinely not happy about it. Unironically, I'm not happy about it, my dude. It was fucking weird. It was fucking weird. There was no point of it. Yeah. Pray that tomorrow I get home at normal time. We had a lot of work. It was very, very, very busy. So I actually suffered. Feel sad for me, okay? Feel very, very sad for me. We need to figure out a way for me to get really, really, really deep into Topsen's community. And then he's actually gonna be using me as his main bitch, and I'm gonna be giving so much money that I won't be having to work anymore. Because right now I'm just being killed by this fucking retail job I did. Woke up at like 5 in the morning today. But yeah, leaving right now. So tomorrow we're watching the socialism video. We're gonna be shitting on some tankies. And also, enjoy the rest of your day, my dudes. I've given you links to Topsen on Kick. So go and watch Topsen video on Kick, because he isn't allowed to stream on Twitch anymore, because Twitch hates really good streamers. And yeah, I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Send me news if you have any, send me research if you have any. Stay strong, you got this.